In the past lessons, we've learned to simplify expressions like this, where we just multiply it out. Let's multiply it. AX plus AY plus AZ. And we've learned to do that, but how do we do it in reverse, which is also known as factoring? Let's factor it. So how do we factor this expression? AX plus AY plus AZ. So we want to get it back to its original state. But how do we do that? Well, what we do is we find what's in common with each term. So if we look, they each have a letter A multiplied to them. So we can factor out the A. So we know the common factor is A. So if you bring A on the outside of a parentheses, and then it's A times X plus A times Y, so that would be plus Y, right? And then it's A times Z, so you would do a plus Z. So that is an example of how you would factor this basic polynomial. Let's do some more examples to get more comfortable with it. Here's an example. We can factor this polynomial. We have 2ab plus 6ac plus 4ad. So let's go through each factor and find what's in common each term. So let's see, we have a 2 here. Do we have any other 2's? Yep. So this is 3 times 2, and then here we have 2 times 2. So we can factor out a 2. And then A, do we have any other A's? A. Yep, so the lowest power of A is 1. We can factor out A. Do we have any B's? Oh, no B. So we can't factor out anything else because it has to have it in common with every term in order for us to factor it out. So what is our first term divided by our common factor? 2ab divided by 2a is just b, plus, what is this divided by our common factor? 6ac divided by 2a gives us 3, right? Because 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then the a gets taken away because it's divided, so it just gives us with 3c. Plus, our last term divided by 2a gives us 2d. And if you ever want to double check your answer, you can just multiply this out and it should give you your original expression. But that is our solution for this example. Here is another polynomial we can factor. So step 1, let's find what each term has in common. So first of all, we have 3x times a plus b plus 5y times a plus b minus 9z times a plus b. So if you look, they don't have any numbers in common. So the only thing they have common is the a plus b in parentheses. So we can factor that out. So let's write big parentheses and divide everything by a plus b. So if you divide this first term by a plus b, you're left with what? 3x, right? 3x plus 5y. If you divide a plus b, or if you divide the second term by a plus b, just leaves you 5y. And then if you divide the third term by a plus b, what are you left with? We're left with negative 9z. And all this times a plus b. So that is how we would factor this expression, giving us the solution for this example. Factoring might feel really uncomfortable at first. I would encourage you just to keep practicing. Go through your homework. If you get stuck, just follow the steps. And I promise you, if you keep practicing it, it'll get easier and become second nature. But let's just do another example to try and get it further into our brains. What do we find in common here? Well, let's look at it. Each term has xyz to the power of something. So what's the lowest power of x we have? We have a 7 here, 6 here, 8. So we know that it all has an x to the power of 6 in common because we can divide everything by x to the power of 6. For the y's, what's the lowest power of y? It is 2. So we have that. And what is the lowest power of z? 3, 3, 3. They're all 3. So we can all divide 3. And for our numbers, what is the highest common factor? Let's see, can we divide 81 by 27? Yes, we can. Because 81 is 27 divided by 3. If you need to check on your calculator, you can. I just did that in my head. So we know 27. So this is our common factor, and then we can just divide that from each term. So what is 27? X to the power of 8, y to the power of 2, times z to the power of 3, divided by our common factor. It gives us x squared, and then that's it. So x squared minus 81 divided by 27 is 3. So we have a 3 here, minus 3, right? X to the power of 6 divided by x to the power of 6 is 1. Y to the power of 4 divided by y to the power of 2. You just add or subtract the exponents, so that'd be y squared. Z to the power of 3 divided by z to the power of 3 is 1. So we're done here. Let's move on to our last term, plus, excuse me, let me get more chalk, plus 81 divided by 27 is 3 again, right? 3, x to the power of 7 divided by x to the power of 6 gives us x. Y to the power of 4 divided by y squared is same thing as over here. It's y squared again. And z to the power of 3 divided by z to the power of 3 is 1. So this is our solution for this example. So let's do this example. Let's start with our left term. And what do we have over here? We have an 8. So are there any other 8s here? No. And the lowest number is a 2. So we can factor that out though. So 2, because you always have to get the lowest, because if you divide by more, then you can't factor it properly. And then next we have an a. So can we divide an a by everything? Yes. And our lowest power is a to the first power. So we'll just do that one. You always have to do your lowest power. And then let's go to b. So we have b to the power of 3. Let's find our lowest b power to divide. Let's see, over here we have b to the power of 1. Now, if one of these terms did not have any b's, then we could not factor a b out. But they all have b at least to the power of 1, so we can factor b to the power of 1 out of the expression. Let's do c to the power of 5. What is our lowest power of c? 5, 6, 7, 9. And once again, if one of these terms did not have a c, then we would have to go with that, and we could not factor c out of this expression. But our lowest power is 5, so we will factor c to the power of 5 out. Now, we just divide each term by our common factor. So this first term, 8ab to the power of 3, c to the power of 5, divided by this, gives us 4. gives us b squared and 1. So let's do our next term now. 4ab squared c to the power of 6 divided by our common factor gives us 2b c to the power of 1, right? And then our next term is a plus, let's see, 2ab, and that actually gives us just c squared, right? Because if you divided this by our common factor, it'd just give you c squared. Then our last term is 2a squared b c to the power of 9 divided by our common factor would give us a, right, because there's an extra a, and c to the power of 4. And that is our solution for this example.
Hey guys, if this video has been helpful to you, click the link in the description to get access to the complete Easy STEM Algebra 1 system, which includes a textbook, homework, and all of the course videos in order.